Hey guys.
Hey, Roger. All right, so we will just wait a minute or two for anyone else to join. I think the stream is actually up already. Yep, yeah, I think it is. And let me find the notes. All right.
Is on.
Okay. All right, I think we have everyone here who's going to do a demo. Rodrigo, do you mind taking notes? And when you do your demo, I can take notes for you.
Yep. Where do you usually take notes, guys? I never do that.
Yeah, we do it on HackMD. So in the chat here, you'll see the link.
Okay. Just 1 second. Yeah, I think I found the hack. Yeah.
Cool. Did you get it? HackMD loaded?
Yeah. Is this one? Yeah.
Yes. Yep, that one.
Cool. Cool.
Okay. Cool. So let's get started. Welcome everyone to the Aragon Devs number 54. Today we have a couple of agenda items, announcements, and 2 demos. So we'll go through these. I think everyone has already met each other in this call. And for anyone who's on the live stream and watching or watching afterwards, feel free to introduce yourself in our Discord channel whenever you feel like doing so. So our first announcement today is about Connect and our work on agreements so far. So for those of you who have not heard about Aragon agreements in the past, it is the application inside of an Aragon organization that will connect the organization to the court. And so our idea here with an agreement is that people would be able to create subjective or word-based agreements with each other inside that agreement. And then when they send proposals that don't meet that agreement, they would be able to challenge and ultimately dispute those proposals in Aragon court. Now, our work in the last couple of months have been mostly towards building the contracts and starting with the UI for an agreement inside the Aragon client. And in the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so, we've shifted a bit. Now that we have Connect available, which is kind of a library to grab information and integrate with an Aragon organization, we're moving the integration with agreements into Connect. And so now we're starting to build subgraphs and building app connectors for the agreement and any disputable applications directly into Connect. And we're also shifting our UI development efforts to be completely on top of Connect. And we're releasing a separate interface for our first organization that will use agreements, the Aragon Network organization. And that interface will be built completely on Aragon Connect. And so I'll leave a couple of notes and links in the notes. I'll get posted to the forum afterwards. And if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out. We're just starting these efforts, so there's a lot of ongoing work at the moment. but hopefully we'll have better documentation and more information about how this works for anyone who does want to build their own version of this and have the organization be backed by an agreement. Now, the next kind of announcement that we have is related to this as well, and it's about Aragon OS and its next versions. So Aragon OS, we're currently on version 4, and this version has been out for about 2 years now. So it's getting quite a bit old, and it's on Solidity 0.4. What we're going to do over the next couple of months, and this is really solidified now with our work on agreements, Aragon OS 5 will be released, still on Solidity 0.4, but it will come with all of the infrastructure and contracts required to build disputable applications with an agreement. And this will be the first version we launch too for the Aragon Network organization. And then in the coming months, we'll be upgrading all of our organization contracts to be based on Solidity 0.7. And so that will be a major breaking change. And at that moment in time, we're looking to move all of the current organizations in 0.4, kind of in an isolated environment. And these organizations will still work. They're still backed by the same contracts. It's just the newer organizations will be kind of sandboxed away from them, and we'll treat the old ones more as legacy organizations, and we'll start moving everything else into the 0.7. And particularly for the Aragon Network organization, we're going to be following the same kind of migration path. We're going to release the version in the next few months on the current set of contracts, and then over time, we will migrate those into the new 0.7 contracts when those are ready and audited and secure to be released. So that's kind of our plans for these next versions. Again, you'll probably see more of this in the blog and in release notes as we start finalizing the changes. So keep your eyes and ears open, I guess, and just follow Twitter and our blog for more information about this. With that, we have the announcements for agreements and Aragon OS done, and I'd like to hand it off to Gabby for the DAO hack recap.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Let me share the screen to go through a quick presentation. Are you seeing the screen already?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, nice. Okay, yeah, this is a quick recap for the Hack for Freedom hackathon that we have in the last week. And yeah, this is mostly focused on the developer side of things and how everything go. And yeah, this was a really nice time to shine for Aragon Connect, and we will battle testing all the things that we've been building so far in the library. So yeah, we had a perfect storm into these hackathons that ran for a whole month, and both Metagame and Aragon were participating, and yeah, a lot of cool projects and were on board there and getting really nice things done. Would like to really give props to all the stakeholders involved. We have Aragon, Metagame, OneHive as participants and provide resources as having the XDAI deployment done and being there for supporting the hackathon, the hackers, and having the Connect team also to answer questions, and the design team and communication team to provide all the necessary things were really noticeable in the experience that the hackers had during the duration of the hackathon. Now with the Aragon Connect learnings, we had the really early feedback that the intent API for the Aragon Connect was a bit confused and convoluted, and we are already in the process of refactoring and thinking on how the next version of the intent is going to look like. We also noticed that people got a bit confused with the Aragon app connectors being a bit two different objects between the app that the core library returns and the specific app connector object that each specific connector returns. So we did some changes to extend the core app object instead. Then we also have a bit of feedback on the connector subscriptions not being reliable, and that probably connectors should transform data further to improve the UI experience of custom frontends. And finally, we also noticed that people are much more interested in those that we first guessed on creating organizational onboardings. About general developer experience learnings, we noticed that we have several sources of truth when developing Aragon apps now, both in the Aragon CLI and Builder plugin. So we would like to start replicating Aragon CLI from everywhere and try to move into only Aragon, only Builder plugin setup, and probably even remove the client from the Builder plugin altogether and try to focus on the new Connect experience. We also noticed that the Aragon CLI was still really used but not reliable, and we should probably target as a power user focused tool, and this is something that we will be working pretty soon. Then we also might need a bit more of robustness in the IPFS layer and are also support better support for multiple networks. And now for a few recap of the project submissions that I personally choose. I have the One Hive Honey Faucet. This allows as a civil resistant mechanism to onboard people to get honey and register as a unique person into the Bright ID using the Bright ID protocol, so you can receive free honey to your account if you connect your Bright ID account with the Honey Faucet. We also had this Elimo AI community DAO that use Connect to integrate several web pages and show the different sections of an organization in what data was relevant for their community and how to improve the contributions that people can provide to their organization. Then we have this liquidity democracy hack that create a new liquidity with the Connect library to deploy a Gardens template into the XDAI network, all within the Discord bot using the Collabland data bridge team build. Target the core library of Aragon Connect and build a way to visualize the transaction path into that you can generate from an organization when you are submitting an intent. And it was really, really cool, and we look forward to keep working on this going forward. And really quick, the next two are an easy DAO onboarding using the magic links. That was really cool to see happen as well. And finally, having a extra support for a sidechain using Matic Network and connecting the deployment of Aragon organizations with a DAO factory on the Matic Network. To end the presentation, as a final thoughts, the Hack for Freedom was a really success, and a lot of projects using Aragon Connect were really awesome, and see all the learnings that we were able to gather was really good result. We, as the Connect team, we gathered a lot of feedback and started iterating the tool to a more stable version. And finally, we validate the new vision of the Aragon communities, building their own customer experience. So all in all, a great experience. So yeah, that was all I have. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Gabby. I'm just wondering, for the benefit of people who might want to explore this in their own time, what links they could follow to learn a bit more, and we can leave those in the notes.
Yeah,
It'd be great
link
to see
the,
that.
yeah.
All right. So that was a great recap for the DAO Hack Month. I believe as well there's an extension to Fork the World that's being run as well as part of this month, and that's continuing until the end of, I think, Friday. So there'll be probably some more news around that and some of the great projects coming out of that as well in a couple of days. With that, we can move to Enrique, who can announce Use Wallet and its new version.
Awesome. I'm going to share my screen to get started. There we go. Should we share it now?
Yep, we can see it.
Awesome. So yeah, as you guys may know, we, the Aragon team, try to maintain a set of standalone packages that you can use to basically make your whole DApp development experience way better and easier. One of them, and if basically the flagship one, is Use Wallet, which is a really, which is a library that makes it really easy to connect to basically the blockchain with Ethereum, as we provide basically a easy to use hook for React for just connecting. Now, over the course of the year, we have iterated over this package and we have basically made it better and better. But we recently decided to do a whole overhaul to the API. This led up to the release of the Use Wallet 0.8.0, which is a total breaking change from past versions, but it makes the library super easy to use now. We basically have a new API, and with that, we reduced boilerplate code to a total minimum. Right now, to use it, you just need to import the provider and the hook, and that's it. All states is held within the app, within the object itself from Use Wallet, and basically you can just manage a whole application just with that hook. However, of course, you have more flexibility if you want, as you can destructure everything you want, plus import the errors if you want to recognize smartly what happened and tell the user exactly what happened. But of course, this is all up to you, and we made it just very easy to use and to start now. As you can see, we deprecated some things and replaced it with others. For example, activate and deactivate, which were the functions you called to activate a wallet, now got replaced by connect and reset. This basically makes it more consistent with the ecosystem and also the naming we're using in all of our apps right now. Also activating and connected, which were states. Now they're replaced by a status. Status is really just a string which indicates in which state you currently are. And also this contract was replaced by type, which will of course indicate if the count is a contract count or not in a string as well. We have some examples to get you going, and in the same README you can actually see how to use it. As you can see, only the hook and the provider is needed, and with that you can already get going. We also have more examples here. For example, this is a super basic example. We have only 3 imports here. Again, the hook, the provider, and we import here an error. So we have an example of how to recognize which error it is, which is right here. But as you can see, there's literally no state from React here. You don't need to catch any state. You don't need to do anything with it. Everything comes from the wallet. And if you want to see it in action, here I have the example running. And I can click on the injected provider, and I can click, for example, cancel, and you can see the UI is telling me, hey, you rejected the activation. You can retry, then connect, and you can see your balance. So we basically made it really simple to use. It required a breaking change, but at the same time, it is now really easy to use and migrate. It doesn't take much much time, and in fact, it will simplify your code. So if you're on an older version, we definitely invite you to upgrade as it is now really easy to use. And yeah, that was it for Use Wallet.
Awesome. Thanks, Enrique. Yeah, Use Wallet, I definitely agree in terms of how easy it makes developing apps. And I think this is one of the last API changes that we were thinking of doing. And so it should be pretty stable from now on. And that's a great opportunity to use it more for anyone who's listening. All right. So with those, we're finished our announcements and discussions, and we can move on to demos. Actually, before we do so, let's pause for a second. Just wanted to see if anyone had anything else they wanted to add or discuss before we go to demos. All right, sounds like we're moving to demos. Duffy, would you like to start with the one for disputable voting?
Yeah, of course. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so not much has changed since my last demo here on the UI front, but now the disputable voting app consumes real data from the contracts. And here we have all the open votes and a closed one on this organization called Agreement 3. I'm showing you this from my local server, but it's already on Rinkevi if you want to try. And well, here you can see that these are normal vote schedule, and the orange one are the one that are challenged, and then we have this gray one that is canceled. So if we open, for example, this one, and I enable my account, you see that I can vote on this because it's scheduled, and this is all real data. And if you go, for example, for this challenge one, I cannot vote despite my account being connected because the action has been challenged, and when the challenge is resolved, it will reassume the voting period. But for now, I cannot challenge. And then, for example, and this one is canceled, and it says that the vote has been canceled because the action was challenged and the settlement offer was accepted. And if we were in the normal voting app, this vote will be open because the time remaining, the voting period didn't end, but because the action, the settlement is accepted now, we can see this vote as closed. We are going to create a new category called post for the challenge one because they are not open and not closed. So yeah, we have to create a new category in the middle for these orange ones. And yeah, I think that's it for this app. If you want to try it out on Rinkevi, you have to sign the agreement, and you can do so by going on Etherscan with this address. I have it here on Rinkevi Etherscan, and you click on contract and write as a proxy, and here you can sign the agreement, and then you have power to create new votes and to create new votes. To challenge and vote, you have to have a token, but you can create new votes if you want to try it out. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Duffy. Yeah, it's great to see this come alive. And this is kind of a precursor to what the Aragon Network organization will look like. So very, very excited to see this live, and can't wait until we, other people get to start using this and creating challenges and submitting proposals. All right. Then the next demo, and the final one that we have here, is from OneHive, and it's about the Bread ID faucet.
Hey, let me share my screen. Here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So the idea of this was to present on Ringkey, but we are experiencing some problem with the graph. So I'm not going to be able to show the whole flow, but let's talk a bit about that. So the idea of the faucet is to spread the OneHive community currency that is the honey. So in order to do that, you just need to be a human and prove that you are a unique human. In order to do that, we integrated with the Bright ID services and application. For that, you need to have the Bright ID app. All that you need to do is scan this QR code. I cannot present the full flow. That's a pity, but you need to scan this code. This code will end in this other screen. Let me share here. So once you prove that you are a unique human, that is done on the Bright ID app. For that, you need to create connections, creating groups, those kind of interaction we are doing on Discord. So we have a cafe call for OneHive that is every Friday. So there you can present there, say hi, I'm Rodrigo, and start creating connections. And there you are eligible to, once you are verified on Bright ID, you are eligible to claim some honey. This also allows is interacting with the Uniswap smart contract, where if you don't have a minimum of ETH balance, we will exchange some of your honey that is going to be to you. We are going to exchange for some ETH, so you have that amount of ETH available to interact. In this case, it's going to be XDAI. So once you scan the code, you will see this register button. You are going to be registered. You are going to be registered for the next period, where you can claim your honey. You sign the transaction. Well, just a second. My virtual device was blocked. Ah, yes. Okay, maybe some gas problem. Okay, so I can talk about it. You register, send the transaction, and then on the next period, you will see here the claim button. Let me try one more time, just in case. Yeah, not sure why it's failing. But yeah, if this works, okay, I'm registered. So once you are registered for the next period, you will be able to claim your portion of the total honey available balance for you to use. And that's the idea behind it, to the honey be spread and more people get involved into One High and start taking decision of the One High community. Yeah, that's it. Any questions?
Sounds like we're all good in terms of questions. Thanks for the demo, Rodrigo. Very, very awesome hack. And a lovely interface as well to top it all off. All right,
Yeah.
so just to end the call off. Thanks to everyone for joining. Next call, number 55, will be in 2 weeks on August 17th at the same time. Please drop a line in Discord if you're watching and want to demo anything that you're working on related to Aragon. We'd love to see it. But otherwise, for everyone who's here and watching, thanks for joining and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye, guys. Thank you all.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.